In this video, we will look at upper and lower bounds calculations involving addition and multiplication only. If you're revising, I'll scroll through the questions. You can pause the video and have a go at them. There's 1, 2, and 3, and number 4. Okay, we'll focus on just working out bounds first of all. So often measurements are values that have been rounded to a certain degree of accuracy. Bounds indicate the smallest and largest value that the measurement could be based on how it has been rounded. So we've got the measurement here 300, that's been rounded to the nearest 100. So the number could have been bigger, but it would have been rounded down to 300, or it could be smaller and rounded up to 300. So what's the smallest number that rounds to 300 to the nearest 100? The answer is 250. What's the biggest number? Well, the biggest number isn't 350, but it's up to and not including 350. We would still write 350 as the upper bound, but it just means everything up until that number would round down to 300. You'll notice that the answers are 50 below and 50 above, and that's not a coincidence. If you get whatever it is you're rounding to and divide that by 2, you will get 50. And to work out the bounds, you go 50 below and 50 above, and that works out the answers for your upper and lower bounds. So 70 to the nearest 10. If I round to the nearest 10, that would be rounding either 5 up or 5 down. So take 5 off, means the lower bound 65. Add 5 on, means the upper bound 75. Anything between 65 and 75 would round to 70 to the nearest 10. In this one, we're going to the nearest unit. The nearest unit, that's the nearest whole number, or 1. If I half that, I get 0.5. And then if I go half below 8, I get 7.5. And a half above 8 is 8.5. So anything between 7.5 and 8.5 rounds to 8. 4.3 to 1 decimal place. The first decimal place is in the tenths column, or 0.1. If you half that, you get 0.05. The lower bound will be 0.5 taken away from 4.3, so 4.25. And the upper bound, we add on 0.05 to get 4.35. Anything between 4.25 and 4.35, if you round it to 1 decimal place, we give you 4.3. 10.92, it's been rounded to 2 decimal places. The second decimal place is 0.01. If we half that, we get 0.005. The lower bound would take that off, so 10.915, and the upper bound we add on, so 10.925. Okay, let's look at some applications. A pencil is measured to the nearest centimetre to be 13 centimetres. What are the lower and upper bounds of the length of the pencil? So if it's rounded to the nearest centimetre, then it's been rounded to the nearest unit or whole number. So the upper bound would be half of a unit, or 0.5 above, so 13.5. And the lower bound would be half a unit, 0.5 below 13, or 12.5. Number 2. The length of a line is 12.3 centimetres, correct to 1 decimal place. Write down the lower and upper bound of the length of the line. Well, if it's been rounded to 1 dp, that's 1 decimal place, 0.1. If we half that, we get 0.05. So the 12.3, the lower bound is going to be 0.05 below this, so 12.25, and the upper bound will be 0.05 above, so 12.35. Number 3. Each side of a regular octagon has a length of 18 millimeters. Correct to the nearest 0.5 millimeters. Write down the upper bound of the length of each side of the octagon. And this is a funny one, quite difficult because it's to the nearest 0.5 millimeters, not to the nearest millimeter or to the nearest 0.1 millimeter. It's been rounded to the nearest 0.5, which we don't normally do. We don't normally round to a 0.5. If I just recap what that is doing, just so you understand that, because it's very rare we would do this sort of thing. If we had 11.6, 11.8, 11.9, 12, 12.2, 12.4, 12.6. If we're running to the nearest 0.5, this would be 11.5. This would be closer to 12. This would be closer to 12. This is obviously still 12. Still 12. This one wouldn't round down to 12. It's closer to 12.5. And this one's also closer to 12.5. So that's what rounding to the nearest half a millimeter is. So if we get that 0.5 and divide it by 2, we actually get 0.25. And we have to go 0.25 above and below the measurement. So the lower bound, if we take 0.25 off it, we would get 17.75. And if we add 0.25 onto it, we would get 18.25. So any number between these two would round to 18 if you're rounding to the nearest 0.5 millimeters. Number 4. A page is 21 centimeters long and 29 centimeters high to the nearest centimeter. And we're going to have to work out the maximum and minimum perimeter of the page. So first of all, let's draw our page out. 29 centimeters high, 21 centimeters long. They have been rounded to the nearest centimeter, so the 29 would have a lower bound of 28.5 and an upper bound of 29.5. The 21 has an upper bound of 21.5 and a lower bound of 20.5. If we're looking for the maximum perimeter, so P max, instead of adding 29, 21, 29 and 21, we would add the maximum values that these sides could be. So we'd be adding 29.5, 21.5, 29.5 and 21.5. Making each side as long as possible. That gives 102. Okay, the minimum perimeter then would be making each side as small as possible, taking the smaller measurements, the lower bounds. So P minimum is going to be 28.5 plus 20.5 plus 28.5 plus 20.5. And that would give 98 centimeters. Part B, what is the maximum and minimum area of the page? So area max. If I'm multiplying two sides together, I want to make it as big as possible. These two measurements would be as big as possible. So we're going to multiply 29.5 by 21.5. If we want to get the minimum area, we'd want to make these sides as small as possible because we're multiplying. Multiply smaller numbers, you're going to get a smaller answer. So we'd use the lower bounds, 28.5 multiplied by 20.5. The maximum is 634.25 and the minimum is 584.25.